What's going on, everyone? Dan the Man back here with another video, and I'm here to basically talk about my impressions of the Call of Duty Ghosts multiplayer reveal trailer and other info they presented with it. And maybe I'm in the minority, maybe I'm in the majority, I don't know. I've seen mixed opinions on this, but I have to be honest, I was not impressed for the most part. I was not impressed at all. But that doesn't mean I'm going to completely rule out the game. Because in order for me to rule out a game, I have to see it for myself, whether it's through actually playing it or seeing somebody else play it. And that hasn't happened yet, so I'm not ruling out the game. But from what they've showed and what I've read, I'm not really that impressed. And I don't want to misconstrue anything, so I have I have some stuff written down that I'm reading off of that are talking about the game, and I'm going to go off of that just to give you my thoughts on it. So, apparently they're adding squad modes to the game now. Excuse me. Like, there's squad deathmatch modes or squad cooperative modes, and it kind of sounds like Battlefield because, Battlefield has squads where you can actually be on the same team with a bunch of people, but you can have a small squad that you can team up with and spawn on and help out and get bonuses. Now, it's not really clear, at least from what I'm reading here, that it's going to be something like that, or if it's going to be anything really special to this mode. Because from what I'm reading right here, where you can do 1 versus 1 squad for squad battles, well, that's all well and good, but is it really going to be anything different from regular team deathmatch in Call of Duty? Are you going to get anything special for participating in these squad battles? Nothing I'm reading here seems like makes it any different from regular team deathmatch. It's just that you're just with your squad. Now, maybe they could do something like what Max Payne 3 did, where you could have a gang with up to, I don't remember how many members, but you could have a gang of people, and if you happen to play with your gang members online, you got bonus experience points. Now, maybe they could add something like that, and I don't know, but they haven't really revealed anything about that. So I got to go by what they revealed and what's being written down. So there's also cooperative modes, and it's also it's inspired by the wave-based survival mode. So basically, it's another version of horde mode that Gears of War popularized. I'm sorry, I need something new at this point from the Call of Duty series. I mean, at least with zombies in the Treyarch games, it at least had some type of variety for the most part. I never really got into zombies myself, but I know a lot of people really did get into it, and a lot of people like it, and that's more power to them. But survival mode, which was introduced in Modern Warfare 3, well, that was completely boring. It was just you just killing people over and over and over again, and there was little variety except for the occasional vehicle air support that comes in and shoots at you. And you had juggernauts every now and then, but I would like to know how this is really going to be any different. Is it the same thing except you're with your squad now? Which, as I've already said, how is your squad going to be different from you just pairing up with random people online? I mean, I would like to know this stuff, to be perfectly honest, and maybe they'll reveal more stuff. They could, but I just don't really see anything that makes it any different. So, they do say there's, right here, there's loads of more modes to be announced, so that's good. What else do we got here? Okay, so basically, prestige mode works as when you prestige, you unlock more members to your squad, as in, like, I guess slots of how many members you can have in your squad. I don't really see the point of that. I mean, if you want 10 members in your squad, you need to prestige 10 times. Unless you're a hardcore Call of Duty fanatic, who's going to prestige 10 times? I've only prestiged a lot in one Call of Duty, and that was Black Ops 1, because I really enjoyed Black Ops 1. So unless you're really, really, really going to enjoy Call of Duty Ghosts, you're basically being penalized with a small squad. I, I, I don't really care for that, to be perfectly honest. I don't really care for that. And of course, they say they're going to have new kill streaks, new game modes, and new weapons. Okay, that's great, but I need more information on these weapons. I need more information on these kill streaks, because a lot of the Call of Duties end up using new kill streaks and new weapons, but a lot of them don't feel much different from old kill streaks that they take out. And not to mention, as with every Call of Duty, you'll find the one cheap kill streak or the one cheap weapon, and people will abuse it. I think they need to focus more on other areas instead of just adding in new weapons or new kill streaks. I mean, if you're going to add in new kill streaks, add in new kill streaks to improve on the gameplay. Now, they could possibly do that. I shall wait and see if that is going to come to fruition, but that's what I need to see. Instead of just telling me, you have to show me. Especially right now, because Call of Duty Ghosts is not getting even an ounce of the hype that the previous Call of Duty games have gotten. I mean, some people say Call of Duty's in trouble this year, and a lot of people will go, oh, well, they're still going to sell tremendously and all that, and they probably still will, but it's getting almost little to no hype this year. And in my opinion, that's bad news, because this year they have a ton of competition. They have a ton of competition to go against. And they really need to step up their game, in my opinion. So, and apparently they're bringing back the points system from the creative class from Black Ops 2, which didn't really impress me that much. It did add some customization where you can sacrifice some things in order to improve on something else. Like if you want that third gun perk, you have to sacrifice a perk or a regular perk. Or if you want more regular perks, you have to sacrifice other things. I did kind of like that in a way, but it also led to some cheap combinations. So we'll have to see where it goes from there. So what else is here? Okay, they're adding a leaning system. How's that really going to add anything to the gameplay? Because first off, a lot of Call of Duty is about camping. That's why it's referred to a lot of times as Camp of Duty. Leaning around the corner really isn't going to help that much, especially if somebody's camping near that corner and they have their gun aiming right at that corner. As soon as you lean out, they're going to shoot you. Not only that, there's also some ways to really abuse the environment in Call of Duty to make the leaning system not really needed. Almost like if they added a cover system. It's like something that really isn't needed, in my opinion. They're adding stuff in the game that really doesn't need to be in there, in my opinion. In my opinion, they need to work on the issues that they need to work on that people have been complaining about for years. That's just me, though. That's what I would like them to do. Now, they did do one thing that I really did like. I have to be perfectly honest. They improved the game mode Search and Destroy. It's called Search and Rescue. And Search and Rescue is basically Search and Destroy, except you can respawn. But only if a teammate grabs your dog tags that you drop when you die. If the other team grabs your dog tags, then you don't get to respawn. I love that idea. Because the problem with Search and Destroy was that it encouraged camping. People were afraid to come out in the open for fear that as soon as they die, which happens very quickly in Call of Duty, you don't come back until the next round. It wasn't fun for a lot of people. I myself didn't really find that enjoyable. Dying once, especially with all the cheap stuff that is in Call of Duty, I didn't find that really enjoyable, to be honest. So adding this in is a good idea because it discourages camping, number one, because people will have to run out and grab your dog tags, whether it's your teammate or the other team. It will discourage camping a little bit. It's not going to completely discourage it, but it helps. It helps, in my opinion. I do like that. Now, the main thing about Search and Destroy was that the value of experience points you got per kill because you didn't respawn was tremendously increased from the normal value. Are they going to keep it at a high level, or are they going to slightly lower it because you do have a chance of respawning? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but I do like that idea. I have to be honest. And of course, the main mode that everybody's talking about is the mode called Cranked, which is supposed to discourage camping. Basically, what Cranked is basically Team Deathmatch, except that as soon as you get a kill, you have a timer, a 30-second timer. If you do not get a kill within the 30-second time limit, you explode. But your speed increases when you get another kill, and then every additional kill after that, I think it said something like you can get like sleight of hand, and you get to reload quicker, and you get to aim quicker. It's supposed to encourage more high octane action, and in a way, I can see why it would. But overall, I don't see how it's really going to discourage camping a lot, because as soon as you get a kill, and if your other teammates get kills as well, the other team could potentially go into hiding and just wait out the 30-second time limit for you all to explode. 30 seconds is not a long time. It is not a long time at all. And that could potentially happen. I mean, I've seen it happen even in the older Call of Duties I really enjoyed, like Call of Duty 4. I remember the 7 kill streak helicopter. If you were inside of a building, that helicopter could not get you at all. So I remember a lot of times if the enemy team had a helicopter, I'd run into a building and hide. And a lot of my teammates would do the same thing, and then the helicopter would just be flying around getting no kills whatsoever. I could see that potentially happening with this game mode. Also, another thing they forgot to take into account is that even if it really discouraged camping, hardcore campers would just not play the game mode. They would go to the other Call of Duty game modes like regular Team Deathmatch and stuff like that, where they can camp out to their heart's content. So, in my opinion, Call of Duty really needs to do something to discourage camping. They really need to. Now, do I have all the answers in front of me? No, of course not, I don't. I do have some ideas. Like, I thought of this perk, whereas if you have this perk on and you just got killed by an enemy, that enemy is now visible on the radar completely, not just for you, but for your teammates for 10 to 15 seconds. Maybe that sounds stupid to you guys. I don't know. I think that's a good idea because it would discourage the camping because the guy would have to move on to another spot. But it also isn't completely unfair to the guy who's camping because 10 to 15 seconds is not a very long time. It gives him enough time to go find another spot. But it also gives you and your teammates enough time to kill him because he's completely invisible on the radar and maybe visible through walls too. I don't know, maybe I wouldn't go that cheap, maybe? I'm not sure, but I would definitely do the visible on the radar. I think that's a good idea. And even if it's not the greatest idea, it's a start. It's a start to what could be potential good ideas for stopping the problems that have been in Call of Duty for years now. People have been complaining about this stuff for years. They've been complaining about boosting for years. Boosting is a major problem in Call of Duty. And for years they were telling these Call of Duty developers, Infinity Ward and Treyarch, you need to remove the TAC insert, the tactical insertion. That is the main boosting tool. Remove it out of the game. If you remove it out of the game, it reduces boosting by a ton. It reduces it by a ton because that was the main boosting tool. They'll have to come up with other ways to boost, and it's a lot harder when you don't have this instant respawn wherever I want tool. And boosting in Call of Duty is a lot worse than in other games. Like, people have brought up, like, oh, you can boost in other online games. Well, yeah, you can. But Call of Duty, it's different because if you boost for kills in Team Deathmatch, then that's a completely unfair advantage because the other teams this one guy's getting all these kills on the other team because the guy on your team's helping him get it. If you, say, do it in an objective game mode, you do it for kill streaks, which will also offset the other team by giving one team all of these high kill streaks that they can just abuse and use over and over again just because they're boosting for the kills. Whereas in other games, like, I'm going to use this as an example, Battlefield 3. You can't really boost in Battlefield 3 because it doesn't really help anything. Like, you can go in the corner and boost for kills, but that doesn't offset anything, especially if you're playing an objective game mode, because the kills really have nothing to do with the objective game mode. You could potentially boost for team deathmatch, I guess, but there are a lot of ways to expose people on the radar in Battlefield, and there's destructible environments, which exposes a lot of places to hide in. There's just a lot of ways to get around, and not to mention there are more players in the game, so that you have more of a chance of actually finding the enemy team, and there's more of a chance of, if you're boosting yourself, you have more of a chance of being found yourself because there are more enemies on the other team. And then there are other game modes, and there's stuff like that. But the point is that it's a major problem in Call of Duty. There have been people on YouTube basically exposing these boosters in Call of Duty, like, hey, these people are boosting. Do something about it. Hey, there are these tools that are encouraging boosting. Please do something about it. Now, Treyarch, to their credit, in Black Ops 1, did at least attempt to try something with the tactical insertion, but it's still, the boosters still found a way around it. In my opinion, you should just remove the damn thing. That would help 90-95% of the boosting. It really would, in my opinion. And that's what a lot of people want too, but once again, they're not listening to what actual people want in these Call of Duty games. They're just adding in things and going, oh, look, we've added in new modes. Oh, we're not the same old shit every year. We just added in some new modes. In my opinion, that doesn't really help anything. It really doesn't. Now, what I did see a little while ago is that there actually is some customization options for your actual character in Call of Duty, and that's all well and good. But if the overall gameplay isn't really improved by fixing the other issues, then the customization isn't going to matter too much. Not to mention, are they going to bring back emblems? So that was my favorite thing about Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, was the actual emblems. I think that was a cool thing to do. It was really improved. Like, there, you could get really creative with the emblem system. Of course, you could get really disgusting with the emblem system as well, but that's just the way life is. But overall, I think that was about it, and I have to say, I'm not ruling the game out completely, but I just was not impressed at all. And with all the competition Call of Duty has this year, not just with other shooting online games like Battlefield 4, but there's also single-player games. Like, even though it's not coming out in the same month, you have to worry about Grand Theft Auto 5. You got to worry about other single-player games like Watch Dogs. You got Destiny. And not only that, you got people are going to buy these new systems, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. Where's the leftover money going to be for this new Call of Duty game? Maybe they might be interested in some of these other games that are coming out. Call of Duty needs to realize they just can't keep doing the same shit year after year. It's eventually going to catch up to them, and in my opinion, this year is the year that it has caught up to them. And this was their chance to really step it up, and in my opinion, they really didn't do it. I'm still waiting to hear more information about the game. Hopefully they reveal more information that does lead to some improvements, but from what they've shown so far, I was not impressed. Me personally, I was not impressed. But alright, that's about it, and hope you enjoyed the video, and let me know what you think in the comments or wherever you want to let me know. And hope you all have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Peace.